In a small town nestled deep within a dense forest, there stood an old, abandoned mansion that had long been shrouded in mystery and fear. Local legends whispered of a tragic family who once lived there, their lives cut short by a series of inexplicable deaths. One stormy night, a group of adventurous teenagers dared each other to spend the night inside the mansion, eager to prove their bravery. As they cautiously entered the creaking doors, the air grew heavy with an unsettling presence. They explored the mansion's eerie corridors, their footsteps echoing ominously against the dusty floorboards. Strange whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, chilling them to the bone. Suddenly, a cold wind swept through the rooms, extinguishing their flashlights one by one. In the darkness, they heard faint cries and footsteps echoing from the attic above. Trembling with fear, they stumbled upon a hidden staircase leading down to a forgotten basement. There, they found an ancient chest covered in cobwebs. Against their better judgment, they pried it open, revealing a collection of old photographs. Faces in the pictures seemed to twist and contort with agony, as if trapped in eternal torment. One photo showed a pale figure standing in the mansion's window, staring straight at them with hollow eyes. Terrified, they attempted to flee, but the mansion seemed to twist and shift around them, trapping them in a maze of haunted corridors. Shadows danced along the walls, and ghostly whispers grew louder, filling their minds with dread. Just as they reached the front doors, a bone-chilling scream echoed through the mansion, freezing them in their tracks. They turned to see a spectral figure descending the staircase, its ghastly form reaching out towards them with icy fingers. With hearts pounding, they dashed out into the stormy night, the mansion's anguished cries fading behind them. They never returned to that cursed place, but the memory of that dreadful night haunted them for the rest of their lives. As they stumbled out of the mansion, soaked from the relentless rain and panting with fear, the group of teenagers huddled together at the edge of the forest. Lightning flashed overhead, briefly illuminating their terrified faces. They could still hear faint echoes of the mansion's haunting cries behind them, a reminder of the horrors they had just witnessed. Trying to catch their breath, they exchanged nervous glances, each grappling with the disbelief of what they had experienced. Sarah, the boldest of the group, spoke first, her voice trembling. "We have to tell someone about this," she said, her words barely audible over the howling wind. "No one will believe us unless we show them." But the others shook their heads vehemently, their eyes wide with panic. "Are you crazy?" Mark exclaimed, wiping rain from his face. "Who would believe a bunch of kids who just stumbled out of a haunted mansion? We'll be laughed at or worse, accused of trespassing." They fell into a tense silence, the weight of the night pressing down on them like the heavy storm clouds above. Finally, Jake, the quietest among them, spoke up in a hushed voice. "We need to stick together," he said, his tone firm despite his trembling hands. "We can't let whatever's in there follow us home." With a shared nod of agreement, they began their treacherous journey through the dark forest, each step weighed down by the memory of the mansion's malevolent presence. Branches snagged at their clothes, and eerie shapes seemed to lurk in the shadows just beyond their vision. As they walked, the storm intensified, unleashing torrents of rain that obscured their path and muffled their footsteps. Fear gnawed at their resolve, but they pressed on, driven by the desperate need to escape the mansion's curse. Hours passed before they finally emerged from the forest, exhausted and shaken but alive. They stumbled into the outskirts of town, their faces pale and haunted by the horrors they had witnessed. Wordlessly, they parted ways, each retreating to the safety of their homes. But sleep eluded them that night, haunted by nightmares of the mansion's ghostly inhabitants and the chilling scream that had echoed through its walls. In the days that followed, the teenagers tried to move on with their lives, but the memory of that fateful night lingered like a shadow. They avoided the forest and the mansion, fearing what they might encounter if they dared to return. Years passed, and the mansion remained abandoned, a dark and forbidding presence in the heart of the forest. Locals whispered of strange happenings nearby, disembodied voices, flickering lights, and sightings of shadowy figures moving through the trees. No one dared to investigate, for fear of awakening the spirits that haunted the mansion's halls. It became a place of dread and superstition, a testament to the mysteries that lay hidden within its crumbling walls. And so, the old mansion stood silent and watchful, its secrets buried deep within its haunted corridors, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its dark and terrifying legacy. Years passed, and the teenagers grew into adults, each carrying the weight of that harrowing night in their own way. Sarah became a journalist, driven by a relentless pursuit of truth, often drawn to stories of the supernatural and unexplained. Mark found solace in art, channeling his fear into hauntingly beautiful paintings that captured the eerie atmosphere of that cursed mansion. Jake, always the quiet observer, became a researcher, delving into ancient mysteries and folklore in an attempt to understand the inexplicable. Despite their divergent paths, they remained connected by the shared trauma of their youth. They rarely spoke of that night, but its ghostly presence lingered in the unspoken glances and hesitant smiles they exchanged when their paths crossed. One stormy evening, a letter arrived at Sarah's office, postmarked with a town near the forest where the mansion stood. The sender claimed to have information about the mansion's dark history and urged her to investigate. Intrigued yet apprehensive, Sarah hesitated before deciding to visit the town, driven by a mixture of professional curiosity and a lingering desire to confront the ghosts of her past. Upon arriving, she found the town unchanged, its narrow streets and quaint cottages seemingly untouched by time. Locals eyed her warily when she mentioned the mansion, their expressions turning guarded and cautious. "Some things are best left undisturbed," an old shopkeeper murmured cryptically before turning away. Undeterred, Sarah persisted, piecing together fragments of local lore and whispered legends. She learned of the tragic family who once lived in the mansion, rumored to have dabbled in forbidden rituals and dark magic, their lives consumed by madness and despair. Through careful inquiries and persistent investigation, Sarah unearthed old documents and faded photographs that hinted at the mansion's sinister secrets. She discovered accounts of inexplicable deaths and mysterious disappearances linked to the mansion's dark past. Driven by a mixture of fascination and dread, Sarah ventured into the forest one moonlit night, guided by the eerie glow emanating from the mansion's crumbling facade. The air grew thick with a palpable sense of unease as she approached, her heart pounding in anticipation of what lay within. Inside, the mansion was a labyrinth of decaying corridors and shadowed rooms, the air heavy with the scent of damp decay and ancient secrets. Sarah's footsteps echoed eerily against the cold stone floor as she explored, her flashlight casting long, twisting shadows on the walls. She found herself drawn to a hidden staircase leading down into the mansion's forgotten depths, a place where even the bravest souls feared to tread. With trembling hands, she pushed open a heavy oak door, revealing a chamber bathed in flickering candlelight. There, amidst stacks of crumbling books and arcane symbols etched into the walls, Sarah discovered the truth that had eluded her for so long. She uncovered journals filled with the ramblings of the mansion's former inhabitants, their desperate attempts to unlock the secrets of life and death. As she read, a chill wind swept through the chamber, extinguishing the candles in a sudden rush of darkness. Shadows danced around her, whispering secrets long forgotten by time. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the chamber, a mournful cry that sent shivers down Sarah's spine. She turned to see a figure materialize from the darkness, its form translucent and ethereal. It was the spirit of a young woman, her eyes hollow and filled with unspoken sorrow. She reached out to Sarah, her hand trembling as if pleading for release from an eternity of torment. With a courage born of desperation, Sarah confronted the spirit, speaking words of comfort and understanding. She vowed to uncover the truth of what had transpired in the mansion, to give voice to those who had been silenced by darkness and despair. The spirit's presence slowly faded, leaving behind an overwhelming sense of peace and closure. Sarah emerged from the mansion, her heart heavy yet strangely lightened by the knowledge she had gained. She returned to the town, where she shared her findings with the locals, piecing together the fragmented history of the mansion and its tragic inhabitants. The townspeople listened in silence, their faces reflecting a mixture of awe and fear. In the years that followed, the mansion remained a place of haunting beauty and whispered legends. Sarah continued to visit, drawn by a sense of duty to honor the spirits that lingered within its walls. And as she stood before the mansion one last time, the moon casting a silvery glow upon its weathered facade, Sarah whispered a final farewell to the ghosts of her past. She knew that some mysteries were meant to remain unsolved, their secrets buried deep within the shadows of time. But she also knew that the spirits of the mansion had found peace, their restless souls finally free from the darkness that had bound them. And in that knowledge, Sarah found solace, a testament to the enduring power of courage, compassion, and the unyielding search for truth in the face of the unknown. Years after Sarah's transformative encounter with the spirits of the mansion, the town continued to hold its secrets close. The mansion itself stood as a somber sentinel, its facade weathered by time and neglect, yet still radiating an eerie allure that drew occasional curiosity seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. Sarah, now an established investigative journalist with a penchant for uncovering hidden truths, had moved on from the mansion but never quite forgotten the profound impact it had on her life. She had written a compelling article about her experience, carefully weaving together the historical accounts, her own personal journey, and the haunting mysteries that surrounded the mansion. The article garnered attention far and wide, sparking renewed interest in the town and its enigmatic history. Scholars and historians began to delve deeper into the archives, unearthing forgotten documents and oral histories that shed new light on the mansion's dark past. Meanwhile, Mark, who had found solace in art after that fateful night, had gained recognition for his haunting paintings inspired by the mansion. His work captured the ethereal beauty and eerie atmosphere of the place, drawing both acclaim and controversy for its unsettling realism. Jake, always the quiet researcher, had immersed himself in the study of paranormal phenomena. He traveled the world, seeking out similar cases of hauntings and supernatural occurrences, hoping to find answers that might explain the inexplicable events he had witnessed in the mansion. Together, Sarah, Mark, and Jake formed an unlikely alliance, bonded by their shared experience and their relentless pursuit of truth. They continued to keep in touch, exchanging occasional emails and meeting up whenever their paths crossed. One day, Sarah received an unexpected phone call from a researcher who had stumbled upon an old journal in a distant archive. The journal belonged to a former resident of the mansion, a scholar who had dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the occult. Intrigued, Sarah arranged to meet the researcher and examine the journal herself. Its pages were filled with cryptic symbols, detailed observations of supernatural phenomena, and chilling accounts of encounters with entities that defied rational explanation. As Sarah translated the journal's contents, a pattern began to emerge, a pattern that connected the mansion to a network of other haunted locations around the world. The scholar had theorized that these places were not just haunted by restless spirits, but served as focal points for supernatural energies, drawing in those attuned to the unseen realms. Driven by a renewed sense of purpose, Sarah shared her findings with Mark and Jake. They agreed to embark on a journey together, traveling to various haunted sites to investigate firsthand. Armed with Sarah's journalistic skills, Mark's artistic insight, and Jake's research acumen, they sought to uncover the truth behind these mysterious phenomena. Their journey took them to ancient castles cloaked in mist, abandoned hospitals echoing with ghostly whispers, and remote islands haunted by the spirits of shipwrecked sailors. Each location offered new clues and challenges, pushing their understanding of the supernatural to its limits. But it was during a visit to a crumbling monastery nestled high in the mountains that they encountered something beyond their wildest imagination. In the monastery's ancient library, they stumbled upon a manuscript written in a language that seemed to defy translation. With painstaking effort, Sarah deciphered the manuscript, uncovering a prophecy that spoke of a chosen few destined to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural world. It hinted at a cosmic battle between forces of light and darkness, with the haunted sites serving as battlegrounds for unseen entities vying for dominance. As they delved deeper into the prophecy, they realized that their own experiences at the mansion had been part of a larger tapestry, a tapestry woven with threads of fate and ancient secrets. Armed with newfound knowledge and a sense of purpose, Sarah, Mark, and Jake vowed to continue their quest, knowing that the journey would lead them into even darker realms of the unknown. They were no longer just seekers of truth. They were guardians of secrets long buried and protectors of souls trapped between worlds. And so, their journey continued, each step bringing them closer to the heart of the supernatural mysteries that had bound them together. Together, they faced the challenges ahead with courage and determination, knowing that their bond and their shared quest for understanding would guide them through the shadows of the unknown. As they stood on the precipice of a new adventure, the mansion and its haunting legacy remained a beacon of both caution and inspiration, a reminder that some mysteries were meant to be unraveled, while others were destined to remain eternal enigmas, whispering their secrets only to those brave enough to listen. Months passed since Sarah, Mark, and Jake uncovered the ancient prophecy in the monastery. They had embarked on a series of expeditions to various haunted locations around the world, each journey revealing new layers to the supernatural mysteries they were unraveling. Their adventures took them to remote islands where spectral lights danced over abandoned lighthouses, to forgotten catacombs beneath bustling cities where the echoes of the past reverberated in ghostly whispers, and to ancient ruins where shadows seemed to move of their own accord. Throughout their travels, they encountered fellow seekers of the paranormal, historians, scientists, and psychics, who shared their knowledge and experiences, adding to the tapestry of understanding they were piecing together. Yet, amidst the exhilaration of discovery, they also faced dangers that tested their courage and resolve. In a dilapidated mansion in the English countryside, they narrowly escaped the clutches of a malevolent spirit that sought to trap their souls in its web of despair. In a haunted forest in Japan, they witnessed a spectral procession of samurai warriors, doomed to repeat their final battle for all eternity. And in the shadowy depths of a Romanian castle, they confronted a shape-shifting entity that seemed to draw its power from the fear of those who dared to enter its domain. Through it all, Sarah, Mark, and Jake relied on each other's strengths. Sarah's sharp intellect and investigative skills, Mark's keen artistic eye and intuition, and Jake's steady resolve and deep knowledge of the occult, to navigate the treacherous waters of the supernatural world. Their bond grew stronger with each trial they faced, forged in the crucible of shared danger and discovery. They learned to trust not only each other, but also the allies they met along the way, forming a network of like-minded individuals united in their quest for truth. As they continued their journey, they uncovered fragments of the ancient prophecy hidden in dusty tomes and whispered legends. They learned of a cosmic balance maintained by unseen forces, where the spirits of the departed played a pivotal role in the eternal struggle between light and darkness. At times, doubts crept into their minds, doubts about the nature of their quest, doubts about their ability to make a difference in the face of such vast and ancient mysteries. But their shared determination and unwavering belief in the importance of their mission kept them moving forward, even when the path seemed obscured by shadows. One fateful night, as they stood on the precipice of a windswept cliff overlooking the restless sea, Sarah received a vision of a looming threat that threatened to tip the delicate balance of the supernatural world. In her mind's eye, she saw a convergence of dark energies gathering strength, poised to unleash chaos upon the mortal realm. With a sense of urgency burning in her heart, Sarah shared her vision with Mark and Jake. Together, they deciphered the cryptic clues they had gathered throughout their journey, piecing together the puzzle of the ancient prophecy. They realized that their quest was not merely about unraveling mysteries or seeking answers to age-old questions. It was about confronting a looming threat that could jeopardize the very fabric of existence itself. Armed with newfound purpose and resolve, Sarah, Mark, and Jake embarked on their most perilous journey yet. A journey that would lead them to the heart of the darkness they had long sought to understand. Their path took them to a desolate island in the South Pacific, where legends spoke of a gateway between worlds hidden beneath the churning waves. There, amidst the ruins of an ancient civilization, they uncovered a portal pulsating with forbidden energy, an energy that threatened to tear apart the barriers separating the mortal realm from the realms beyond. With courage born of desperation, they confronted the dark forces converging around the portal, battling spectral entities and malevolent spirits that sought to breach the fragile veil between worlds. In a climactic showdown beneath the blood-red moon, they faced the embodiment of the ancient prophecy. A shadowy figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes gleaming with malevolence and ancient knowledge. With their combined strength and determination, Sarah, Mark, and Jake managed to seal the portal, banishing the dark forces back into the abyss from whence they came. The air crackled with residual energy as the threat dissipated, leaving behind a palpable sense of relief and exhaustion. As they stood amidst the ruins, battered but victorious, they realized the magnitude of their achievement. They had not only prevented catastrophe but had also fulfilled their destiny as guardians of the supernatural world, a destiny foretold by the ancient prophecy they had uncovered. With the threat vanquished, Sarah, Mark, and Jake returned to their respective lives, forever changed by their extraordinary journey. They knew that the supernatural mysteries they had encountered would continue to haunt their dreams and fuel their curiosity. But they also knew that they had forged a bond that transcended time and space. A bond forged in the crucible of shared danger and discovery. A bond that would endure for as long as the mysteries of the universe persisted. And so, as they looked out upon the horizon, where the sun dipped below the waves in a blaze of fiery orange and crimson, they knew that their journey was far from over. For as long as there were secrets waiting to be uncovered and spirits waiting to be understood, Sarah, Mark, and Jake would continue to explore the boundless realms of the supernatural, united in their quest for truth and their determination to protect the fragile balance of existence. As Sarah, Mark, and Jake stood together on the windswept island, their hearts still racing from the intense battle against the dark forces, a profound sense of accomplishment washed over them. The air around them felt lighter, as if the very atmosphere had shifted in response to their victory. They exchanged weary yet triumphant smiles, their eyes reflecting the shared journey that had brought them to this pivotal moment. The island, once cloaked in shadows of uncertainty, now seemed bathed in a gentle light that spoke of newfound peace. In the aftermath of their decisive action, the world seemed to hold its breath. The ancient prophecy, once a cryptic enigma guiding their path, now stood fulfilled, its echoes resonating through their memories and the annals of history. As they prepared to leave the island behind, Sarah felt a profound sense of closure. The mysteries they had encountered, the spirits they had encountered, and the battles they had fought had shaped them in ways they could never have imagined. Their journey had been more than a quest for knowledge. It had been a journey of growth, courage, and friendship. They had faced their deepest fears and darkest doubts, emerging stronger and more resilient on the other side. Returning to their lives, they carried with them the lessons learned from their extraordinary experiences. Sarah continued to write, sharing their story with the world through articles that captivated and inspired. Mark's paintings, infused with the essence of their adventures, gained even greater acclaim, touching the souls of those who beheld them. Jake delved deeper into the study of the supernatural, uncovering new mysteries and forging connections with fellow researchers around the globe. Though they pursued separate paths, their bond remained unbreakable. They met occasionally, sharing tales of their latest discoveries and reminiscing about the challenges they had overcome together. The mansion, where it had all begun, remained a symbol of their shared journey, a testament to their courage and determination in the face of the unknown. Years passed, and their story became legend, a tale whispered among seekers of truth and enthusiasts of the paranormal. The island where they had sealed the portal faded into obscurity, its secrets buried beneath layers of time and tide. But for Sarah, Mark, and Jake, the memories of their journey remained vivid and enduring. They knew that the world was vast and filled with mysteries yet to be uncovered, and they stood ready, each in their own way, to confront the challenges that lay ahead. And so, as the sun set on another day, casting its golden glow over the horizon, they looked towards the future with hope and anticipation. For they had learned that the greatest mysteries of all were not found in the darkness, but in the light that guided them through it, the light of friendship, courage, and the unyielding pursuit of truth. As they walked away from the island, their footsteps echoing against the sands, they knew that their journey was far from over. The supernatural world awaited, filled with new wonders and challenges that would test their resolve and redefine their understanding of the cosmos. Together, they would continue to explore, to seek, and to discover. Together, forever bound by the extraordinary journey that had forged their destiny and shaped their lives. And so ends the tale of Sarah, Mark, and Jake, the guardians of the supernatural, whose courage and determination illuminated the shadows and ensured that the balance between worlds remained intact, forever and always.